Hi everyone, in this video I want to show you a game between Anish Giri and Vladimir Kramnik. The game was played in Tata Steal Chess Tournament 2018 round 2. Let's see the game. Anish starts with c4, the English opening, and Kramnik replies with e6, a valid pawn move that allows the dark-squared bishop to develop. Knight to c3 and bishop to b4 attacking the knight. Queen to b3, asking the bishop to decide to take the knight or to go back. Bishop to a5. Anish said in the interview after the game that he was surprised with this move. Knight to f3, c5, controlling b4 and d4 squares. d4 striking in the center, allowing the dark square bishop to develop. And black replied with knight to f6, developing towards the center, preparing short castle, and white decided to take on c5. Instead, he should have continued his development of his pieces with bishop to g5 and long castle, or playing e3, bishop to d3 and short castle. So in the game we had d takes on c5, d file is opened for white, and knight to a6, looking to get back the pawn from c5, bishop to e3, defending the pawn and placing the bishop in front of the e2 pawn. Knight to e4, threatening to take the knight, inflicting triple pawns for white on the c file. g3, intending to put the light square bishop on the long diagonal. Knight takes on c5, attacking the queen, and the queen goes to c2. Bishop takes on c3 check, b takes on c3, and white pawn structure is ruined. He has an isolated pawn on a2 and two double pawns on the c file. b6, intending to put the light square bishop on the long diagonal in order to neutralize his counterpart. Bishop to g2, bishop to b7, and short castle. With this move, white finishes opening. His king is safe, rooks are connected, and all other minor pieces are developed. In the middle game, we need to make a plan. First, we need to find the target, and then see how our pieces can help us to attack that target. The easiest target to attack are the weak pawns, the isolated pawn, double pawns, backward pawns, and advanced pawns. In the game, black played short castle, putting his king to safety, and rook fd1, bringing the rook on the open file. The other rook will help a pawn to go forward to a4 and a5, inflicting some weaknesses on the queen side. Queen to e7, and black finishes opening. a4, we have the minority attack. One pawn tries to weaken two pawns. d6, defending the knight, controlling e5, and also the queen defends the bishop. a5 and f5, defending the knight from e4, leaving e6 a backward pawn, which is hard to attack for the moment. d6 is a better weakness for white to attack. a takes on b6 and a takes on b6, and black has an isolated pawn on b file. Knight to d4 uncovers the bishop, and also the knight looks at the a6 weakness, and in the future it might jump to b5. Knight to f6. Retreating pieces from good squares is not good unless there is a good reason to do it, so I don't like this move. Black's intention was to exchange the bishops, so in the game the bishops were exchanged, the knight recaptured, and one pair of rooks is exchanged. Rook takes, and here white played knight to b5, attacking d6 pawn twice, the knight and the rook, and also uncovers the bishop attack on the b6 pawn. For the moment, d6 pawn is protected twice by the knight and the queen. Black continued with rook to c8, attacking the c4 pawn, and white defends that pawn with queen to a2, d5, trying to get rid of his weakness, and we have bishop to g5, pinning the knight, threatening to take it, and then take on d5, and black took the pawn with the rook. In this position, we can see that b6 weakness can be easily attacked by white with the queen. And in the game, white played queen to a8 check, king to f7, and rook to a1, intending to put the rook on a7, winning the knight. Knight to a5, queen to b8, attacking the weakness, rook to c6 defending, and knight to d4, attacking the rook, and the rook took on c3. The drawback of this move is that b6 is undefended, and after white takes the pawn with the queen, the knight has to go to c4, and the rook from c3 has no squares to go. And in the future, this is an easy target for white. So in the game, the queen took the pawn, knight to c4 attacking the queen, queen to b8, threatening to play rook to a7, getting the queen. And here black played knight to d7, and this is a mistake. The drawback of this move is that white can take the queen and then take advantage of the rook by playing bishop to b4, attacking the rook. Better for black was to play rook to a3, attacking the rook and exchange it. So in the game we had bishop takes on e7, knight takes on b8, recovering the queen, and bishop to b4, and the rook is trapped. e5 from black, attacking the knight, rook to a7 check, king to g8, bishop takes on c3, e takes on d4, and bishop takes on d4, and in this position white is an exchange up, and the pawn will drop soon. Also, white has a double threat to take the pawn from g7 or pin the knight, winning it at the next move. So in the game, black attacked the bishop and the rook, and white gave a check with rook to g7, king to f8, and after bishop to f6, black resigned. He has three isolated pawns that can be easily attacked and captured. One possible continuation would be h5, running away, rook to d7, attacking the other weakness, d4, the knight is protecting the pawn, rook to c7, attacking both knights, knight 4 to a5, protecting the knight, king to g2, and the king can go forward and pick up the pawns, and this is lost for black. After this game, Anish is the sole leader with 2 points out of 2. I hope that you learned something from this game. Please watch other games from my channel, and if you like this video clip, click the like button and subscribe. See you soon. Bye.